Hey, it's an interesting evening for me today. Like, it's been from one meeting or the other back to back, but it's my pleasure to be here. All of a sudden, I am enjoying, like, I'm just enjoying myself, the fact that I show up as often as I can to have this conversation with all my followers. So, thank you for streaming in from whatever part of the world that you are. I hope that you are safe. I hope that you are taking responsibility for your existence in your capacity. And I hope that everything is well with you. So it's my pleasure to welcome you, all the professionals, entrepreneurs, mothers, fathers, friends, everybody. It's my pleasure. I hope your Saturday has been well. My Saturday started interesting. I had to visit the car shop. It was actually my first time. No, not my first time ever, but probably my first time in about maybe 10 years. So I usually get them to pick my car up. So I have people who pick up my car, fix it, and then return it. But today, well, maybe because of the amount of money I knew I was going to spend, I needed to monitor my money and what it was coming with. So I drove into one of the prestigious car shops, and then I had to get my tires. I had to do everything all over, interesting. But then it occurred to me, so if you're single, like single and available, that do two different things. So if you're single, you're a lady, car shops are good. But when I say car shops, not anyone, no, not just roadside mechanical. Like I went to Dunlop, so other people who came in there, really reasonable. Like I exchanged cards with two people. They work in oil and gas in their 50s. We just had beautiful conversations, and I know that it's going to yield money. So the money I'm going to spend, I already have targets. So it just occurred to me that how come they haven't said this to single ladies? So single women, if you have, and it was very affordable. So I got my tires, did my entire car service, alignment and balancing, or what do they call it? Yeah. Virtual left my account, but not too bad because I tried to weigh the prices, and I saw that it was very reasonable. And for me, it was just the ease. I like paying for peace. I don't like stress. So I wasn't going to part with 125,000 without monitoring what my money was for. But then, was it worth my time? Yes. Was it worth my service? Yes. So this is actually free advert for Dunlop, and I had a good time. So if you really want to do something, you may be shocked that people like Dunlop and some other people, may be able to offer it at a good price, and you may be able to meet good people. I saw a lot of married men, singles. It was a business point, and for me, it was like networking. So I like the fact that I went, so I will go next time. And because I already have an appointment with one person that I met, it just made a lot of sense. So I already have a call for, let's hang out with drinks, let's see what we can do in my office, blah, 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 my company. So trust me, my 125,000, it should give me about 125. Put any other zero behind it. So welcome once again. So that was like a tip for people who are interested in networking, meeting new people. If you want to meet men, I think that the car shop is a good place, but it has to be. So I went to VI, so it's not just a random place also. So those kind of places, you should make it good people. So tonight we will be talking about how to handle supposedly difficult people. I'm not sure if they're really difficult people. I haven't accepted that fact, but people have mentioned a lot, like they've given examples, and I know that they really exist, yeah, but I'm just not sure why. I haven't really, so maybe I'm trying to be kind, but I know that there are people who can be a handful, so I think that's the word I would prefer. But if I'd written a handful on the flyer, like how to handle handful bosses, you will not understand it, or handful clients, so the word difficult is for people to understand what I'm trying to say, but then I will prefer to defer to the word handful. So how to deal with handful bosses or clients and all of that. So welcome once again to everybody listening to me. Thank you for spending your evening with me. This should go on for just about 30 minutes so that we can catch up. I can't wait to have dinner, and then you should know what I eat, plantain and something. Yeah, just life is pretty simple for me. So handling difficult people, and then the difficult is in quoted, yeah, in quotes. I work, so I'm a boss. I have associates who people call employees. I call them associates. I have managers. I have faculty members. I have a team of 183. So that's like a nation. Yeah, emotional city nation. Yeah, and then there are different layers, of people, and I interact with them. And I've come to understand that not everybody can work with me, and I can't work with everybody. And it doesn't mean that we're bad people. It just means that we don't share the same values, and because we don't share the same values, we would not have the same results. And it's just very clear, we would not have the same results. So one of the values that I share is diligence. I am not one person who thinks that I want to make a lot of money with small work. Whatever, or something. That looks like scam to me. I don't understand it. It looks like, I don't know what it means. It just looks like fraud. So I'm one person who understands diligence and hard work, and I don't react to it. So I can't count how many meetings I've had today. Right after this conversation, I'm going for dinner, and then I have another meeting with a Canadian whatever by 10, and then I have another call by 11. So I will be going to bed like 12. It's a Saturday. I started out swimming in the morning for an hour 30 minutes, which is my usual daily exercise, and all that. So if my core value is diligence, then anybody I have to hire must be diligent. So that automatically means that if you react to work, or if you react to hard work, otherwise, if you are lazy, we can deal. And if you are not proactive, I have to always think for you. What I'm thinking of at the back of my mind is, why is there a brain suspension program going on? Like, what's really going on? Do you really have like a personal brand, a personal agenda? What is your life all about beyond the fact that we pay you or you're on the payroll? What do you exist for? Do you want people to remember your name and say, oh, that person is intellectually lazy? Like, how do you really deal? So, and it's not easy for me to fire. So before you would ever hear you're fired or something, we must have warned you like 13 times. Like, that's like 13 times. Why that's, I have conversations with you to be sure, is it how I'm explaining it that you're not understanding, or how else would you like to hear this? And then I show you, which is modeling, and then the HR steps in so that we can have peace, which is, there's a query, like what's really going on? And different people have different flavors per time. People have issues going on in their personal lives that is definitely affecting work, and I get it. But if I have to keep correcting you on a path, I don't know what's going on. If I have to keep correcting you about a particular thing for about a year, then it is either you're not listening to me, or you don't really understand what I'm trying to say, and then you're not telling me about it or something. So welcome to the conversation on working with a difficult boss. I think all of us have encountered this set of people part-time. I have worked with people that I will call a handful. I'm not sure I want to use the word difficult. I'm not sure that is really it. A handful. And when I say handful, very painful process. But I will tell you how I was able to deal with it. There was one that I was volunteering in his organization, and I volunteered for 17 years before I left. I was never paid a dime, so I had every reason to leave because I knew that he was a handful. But then I knew it wasn't also time for me to leave, and at a point it got pretty toxic. It was toxic for about 4 years, and I saw that I couldn't take it anymore, and then I requested to step down, and it was at that point that there was some level of decorum and all of that. So I've gone through difficulties. There are also clients who are a handful. Some of them actually subscribe to insults, curse words. I haven't met a lot of them, maybe because I'm not their direct contact, but I've met a handful of them. And Yeah, so I get it. So let's talk about how to handle these people. I wrote down 10 points, and I intentionally wrote down the points because I'm used to talking in my mind, in my head, but I didn't want to miss out anyone. And I also organized them, according to how I thought that they were important or how important they are. So these are also not cast in stone. This is me just sharing my knowledge based on my experience. They're not cast in stone. Are there difficult people? I think that they are. Maybe I'm just not using that word. I think that they are. I think that there are people who are not well behaved. I think that there are people who have the capacity to be hostile. I think that there are people who can be toxic. Yeah. So it is me not labeling people, because I really cannot label people. My conscience or my persona finds it difficult to label. So I'm not using those words that you would normally here. So this is me renting a space in people's heads that if they knew better they would do better, because I have seen that it's very difficult to be consistently wicked and mean and evil. Like, it takes a lot of energy. To do that. And when I say to do that, imagine being a Donald Trump. Like, you can see his muscles on his face, you can see the veins. Like, his work to come up with that level of negativity or negative energy, and this is me also who knows that people are good people. Donald Trump is a good person, but sometimes all of us have good intentions and bad execution. So I do not believe that people are wicked or evil, but I can see evil actions, I can see unkind actions, but it usually comes from good intentions. When people are shouting and screaming, in their mind they are trying to correct you to be better, whatever, but it's the execution that has a problem, not really them. So I've been able to separate the person from the action. So I don't see bad people, I just see badly executed actions. I just see bad behaviors, not bad people. So that's why I am not subscribing to the word difficult. And I understand if you do, but I cannot, because we all get to that point. We all make mistakes. And if I shout at someone, for example, it is not because I'm a shouter. It is because I was in an unpleasant or an unresourceful state that made me shout. There's always a trigger. And this is me not trying to excuse bad behavior, but this is me trying to let us know that we all need to take a chill pill on ourselves, because the truth is nobody is perfect, including you. So it is not that you are like ice cream and people should just love you and then your boss has a problem. So it will be unkind and unfair of me to think that bosses are badly behaved and then their downlines are all good people. I have met badly behaved employees and associates, people who don't really care, people who don't mind if you're running at a loss as long as they have their salaries, and to run a company in Nigeria is something else. Like, from the fact that every agency is on your tail to try and get money from you, they don't care whether you're profitable or not, to the fact that you have employees who may not be as dedicated as they should be, so that everybody will have a higher pay increase, whatever it is, and then the fact that it's not really a functional country. Like, we pay for roadworthiness, the road is not worthy, and then there are some air marshals on the road who will be asking you for papers, and then you are dodging potholes and you're just wondering if they have sense. Somebody's asking you for roadworthiness, the road is not worthy. You just have agendas up and about, people. For example, we're all looking for how to put name plus something in a pandemic. You're just even wondering who is doing all of us. Like, is it that we can't just even wake up and just be fine? Like, what's going on? So imagine a CEO in the pandemic where the first 3 months, last year, March to May, people were at home, and then the person has to pay. Some even had to do like a salary cut, and it was understandable. We never did. And it's understandable also. So if we had to, we could, but I've never done it in my life. I'm not better than people who did. They had to do it, but we didn't get to that point. So if I'd gotten to, definitely we would have, but we never got to that point. So they got 100% and they're still getting their 100%. But it's because truthfully, I work with good people. truthfully. So even if they had gotten like a pay cut or whatever, it wouldn't have been an issue for them if I know them very well, and the people who got pay cuts, it is because everybody has to, everybody has to survive. Imagine a CEO with 200 people on his payroll, or 500, in a pandemic that money wasn't really coming in. Everybody just has to understand, because it's not the pandemic, he didn't originate it or something. So I'm starting from that angle, because it will be unkind and unfair to think that our bosses are usually the problem, and then we have little or nothing little or no responsibility to take on ourselves, which is, so everybody has to balance it. So anything you call it is fine. I would just rather subscribe to the handful of people. So let's look at the 10 points that I put down. The first is, please understand your boss's leadership style. I have observed something, that whether you like it or not, you are supposed to understand your boss. Your boss is not supposed to understand you. So in leadership, you understand your uplines, not your upline understanding you. If the upline wants to understand you, it's a choice. But it is your responsibility to know what works for your upline. You are the one deferring to your upline, and you were there, or you were hired to solve a problem. So if I say to you, this is how I want you to solve my problem, just solve it like that. It's not necessarily how you want to solve it, because sometimes I see, so there was something, there's a particular vendor who does something for me. So something happened a while ago. He didn't know that because of that, I just left him and I, moved on. So what usually happens is, he will want me to do something, and then I look at that thing and I say, oh, I don't think it will work like this, let's do this like this. And then he just tunes out. So he's that kind of person that is either his way or no way at all. And then he just gives the entire body language. He just tunes out. So I've seen him do that a couple of times, and I was just wondering how tantrums was supposed to be his weapon. Because I don't really care. Like, you're charging me for it, and then you want me to do something, and I'm saying that it's not sustainable through that route. Let's look at this, and you're like, let's do it first. And I'm like, there's nothing called let's do it first, because I am paying for that trial you are also doing. So if the trial fails, I'm supposed to bring out another money to now do it the way I think it will work. So as long as I am the one bearing the cost, I will suggest to you what I think we should do. So let's do it my way first. If it fails, then we'll do it your way. At that point, I get it. But I will not start with a trial when I know that it will fail. How do I know that it will fail? Because it is in my field. So if it was another field, I really wouldn't mind. I would just chill and observe and look at it. But if it's in my field, which is studying human behavior, I've been here 18 years. Like, it's not a joke. So I already know, I see patterns, I study patterns. That's what they pay me for. Therapy is patterns, coaching, yeah. So I study patterns. So I'm like, I'm not sure this will work, and here is the reason why. And then he says, no, that let's do it like this. And I'm like, I don't mind doing it like that, but not yet. Let's try this first option. If it doesn't work, then we'll do it this way. And then he had thrown tantrums a couple of times. He just disappeared. He just gives like a negative attitude. And I'm like, I'm not shouting at you. I'm having this conversation. What part of your ego is it bruising? That you can't take feedback? But bottom line is that my final engagement with him was a final engagement. He has no idea, but I already knew that I wasn't going to deal again. And it's not necessarily because he's a bad person, but it's just the fact that we don't blend when it comes to attitudes. So I have clients also who I do things with, and I don't necessarily do the things the way I want to do them. I tell them what I think will work, and if they say to me that, oh, okay, let's do it this other way, I just do it. Like, I don't have any issue. I have told you what I think, but if you think that we should do it your way, nothing bad. I'll just also learn just in case it works. So it's not me waiting and folding my hand that you will soon fail and you humble yourself. No, I don't have time. I don't watch African Magic and those things, so I don't even have all those gymnastics, all those where we catch you, vindictive. I don't have time. So if you want me to do it that way, cool. I will learn if it works. And then you are the one paying anyway. You are the one paying my salary. So why am I, So the first point is, please understand your boss's leadership style. If you're waiting for your boss to understand you, that's sabotage and it's self-sabotage. Please understand, your boss is not your spouse. Your boss is not your children. Your boss is not a family member. Like, they're not your friends. They can be friendly, but not your friends. I'm not anybody's friend in my office. But we play, we eat, we deal. They can't be looking for friends. Like, they can't just call, hey, Idi, how are you? If they want to call me, it's professional, normal. Oh, Idi, I just had to check up on you. They've never had to check up on me before. We're all on the same WhatsApp group. We talk almost every day. So maybe that's why you don't send me. But if they ever have to send me, you know, it will be that they really want to send me. Okay, there was a time I was ill a long time ago. Yeah, so they were always calling or checking me up at home. You just see them, you just come around, just come and sit down. I think they were monitoring their son like that. Please, so, Lord of healing. Help us, please. So of course they love me. They're good people, you know. So that's the first one. Understanding your boss's leadership style. The second one is, after you have understood your boss's leadership style, please don't just understand. Adapt your style to theirs. Let me tell you something. We need to remove the cap of this is how it should be done, blah blah blah. I know. Understand the leadership style. Adapt your style to their own. And even though you have a way you do things, remember, you were not employed to do things your way. You were employed to do things within a team. If you wanted to do things your way, go and be an entrepreneur. Interestingly, you can still not do things your way as an entrepreneur. You will do things your client's way, because they will dictate where their money wants to go to. You will do things your client's way. So let's remove this ego and defensiveness. It ruins people. Where you were and they do, calm down. We know that we hired you because you were good. We know we hired you because we trust you, and then there's a time for feedback. We're going through that one. But the first one is remove that ego, that I want to show. Well, there's a time to be the light of the world. When you are working within a team, calm down. There's some places that I get to, you don't even know who I am. And so let me give you an example. Somebody wanted me to pay an amount of money. In fact, I tweeted about it to my estate on all of that. And I was like, oh, okay, instead of sending a staff for somebody, let me just drive down there and see. So I went there and I greeted the lady, and then as I greeted her, she looked at me and said, oh, doctor, how are you? And I was like, I've never been here, so how do you know, or whatever? And she was like, oh, I Googled you. So when people come into the estate, we Google them. And then she told me a lot of things about myself. And then here I was there to negotiate. You know, they're giving me one bill that it was not the will of God. So I knew that I needed to negotiate it. So when she was telling my profile, I knew that she wanted to get me. So the essence of the profile is that, oh, Mama, Emma, we know who you are. You know, and here I was. I needed to let them know that everybody is here for each other's progress. Don't frustrate me, I want to pay, but I need help. So she greeted me and all of that. I was just like, oh yeah, good to meet you, blah 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 blah. Bottom line, I got my discount. I didn't get it by gra. Do you know who I am? All those I cannot pay this amount of money. Why would you exchange a state due? Be speaking English, be violent. Whoa, violence has an expiry date. So when I started romancing me, I said, this one I have even read my profile now. Somebody would think that I made it in life. That's why I'm reading a profile. Whoa, leave the profile aside. I came for help. That's how I reduced it. Sister, your own will not spoil. Help me, please. Please. I'm not even. Your own will not spoil. And I gave a logical reason. You know, and she was like, oh, I need to tell my boss. And of course she went to tell the boss. Bottom line, I got what I wanted. No violence, no exchange, nothing. In fact, I go extra. Why? I adapted my style to theirs. So she came, greeted me, you know, needed me to know that whatever I came here for. And I didn't drive any big car there. intentionally. It's not if I even have. Don't let us deceive ourselves. I just said, sister, that profile is a corporate profile for my enemies. It's when you want to charge that you drop that profile. That profile is not for this estate. In this estate, the profile I came with is help me. Everybody is out to get me, but you cannot get me, please. And I got it. I studied them, I knew who they were, and I had my words, and I'll teach you how to do that. I also have one interesting knack, which is the fact that everybody people call difficult, I get along with them. Truthfully. Everyone has a mumu button, and I need you to understand that. Somebody is whining them. Somebody is whining Donald Trump now. Somebody is whining that particular person, you call anything that you call it. What are they doing to whine them that you don't know? There's hardly any difficult person that I have not gotten. None. People say, that person, I carry fire for help, we will drop it. And how? I start by appreciating people. Everybody loves appreciation. I start by complimenting them, and I'm not lying to them. No matter who you hate, there's something about them that you can appreciate. So I just start by giving honor to whom honor is due. And it's not pretense, it's not lying. Let's get out of the box like, oh, we're the ones who do the right things. Other people are wicked. People are wicked, so I can't say anything good. Guy, take a chill pill. You are not as perfect and fantastic in that realm as you think. All of us are almost the same thing. And when I say the same thing, this person may be malfunctioning at work in your site. There may be one place also that you are not also the best in outer sliced bread. So for me is I extend grace because I expect grace. I don't disgrace people and I'm expecting grace. I extend what I want. I also know that I don't get it right every time. So I will not pretend to say that, because I'm emotions doctor, I'm perfect and everything is fine. No. Like things get to us. Sometimes we shout, not because we're shouters, but because something triggered us. But now shouting like siren is not a problem. So we don't all get it right. Sometimes we snap, and that's being real. So we need to understand our bosses. Number 2, adapt your style to your boss. Number 3, please identify your boss's trigger or your client. How do you identify triggers? I have some personal pet peeves. Number one, I don't deal with laziness. Even while we're employing you, I'll tell you that if you ever need to encounter me, it will be the fact that you don't think, or you think that you think. I can't deal. I have thinkers and high flyers. I don't want to monitor. I have no patience for micromanaging. You have managers and all of those things. Don't haunt me. We are looking for money. That's why you're on the payroll. So if you are going to keep being on the payroll, you're on the payroll for a reason. We're not related. We are not there because you like me or I like you. So yeah, we can be liking each other, which is fine. But don't let us pretend that, it's because we're... If I don't pay you, you will not be happy. That's the same way I will not be happy if you don't work. If I don't pay you for a month, you even call the person out. So it's the same way I will call you out in my office if you're not working. So I beg the name of God, don't use office time to be doing social media, be talking to your girlfriend or whoever you are dating, and then stick to your office time, 8:30 to 5. Go home after 5. I will never call you after 5 o'clock to wait. As long as it's 5, I'm an Oyinbo CEO, be going. And then you don't come daily, you come 3 times a week. All through last year you came twice a week, you were chilling, enjoying your life, and I was and you don't walk around the clock. We have work-life integration. So like, what's going on? What do you think I pay you for? For your lifestyle? No. I walk around the clock also. So please identify triggers. Identify what the upline does not like and avoid it. And let me say something. Your upline may not like it. You may like it. Don't come and say, it's not a big deal. It's you that it's not a big deal to. It's a big deal to somebody else. When we're younger, you push somebody's head. You say you don't like it. But I was playing with you. It's your play. I don't like the play. Delete it from the repertoire of play you want to give me. You can like it. I don't. I remember one day I saw one guy was calling his girlfriend, "Hey bitch, how are you?" So I said, who do you call bitches? So his girlfriend and his female friends said, remove me from the bitches. Guys, so you can take it, says, please. This play, let's organize the play. I can't go out with you now. Do you know the caliber of people that I work with? If I leave the client, me and you alone, you know, we say, hey, bitch. Please, I know you are from America or anywhere. I'm from there too. Please remove it from the list you want to call my name on. Just bitch, absent, sir. Call me something. In all of these things, the word is even hard enough. You want to add bitch, please. So please identify triggers, very key. Number 4 is it will be kind of you to be proactive. One thing I always say to everybody who works with me is, if I have to always give you an instruction, you are no more a manager. You are a random person. If you can't come with ideas, come with thoughts, whatever it is, then you are not managing, you are not leading. You are only receiving instructions. So if you are somebody on my payroll who receives instructions, there's a particular salary you can never go higher than. And for you to go higher, you would know from the moment we employ you that for you to go higher, you must move from receiving instructions to suggesting. So you must be proactive. Like let people have an encounter, like before and after experience when you join the payroll, and afterwards let them know that virtue left them. Not that they can't even wait for your departure. One of my team members is leaving for his PhD next month, and is a superb blessing to me. Young gentleman, 26. Young. If I will rate him on a scale of 1 to 10, I will give him an 8. And who he was when he started is not who he's, off with. He was with us for a year, and then he used to do his PhD, and I'm so proud of that. But I knew who he was before he came, when he came, and I know who he has become, and I'm so glad. He's one person that I had to say, you can call me from anywhere in the world, you have access. Like, he wasn't perfect, he had his, whatever, but it's okay. All of us here. But I will give him an 8 over 10. Proactive young guy, always willing to work, always ready, never complained about workload, very respectful, has home training, is training himself. Like, he's that kind of person that CEOs pray to encounter. When you are looking for divine helpers, that is him. Not some people that in your mind every encounter with them is like they are joy vampires. You're just wanting now. Wow. Number 5, please learn to take responsibility. We don't get it right. When you're wrong, take responsibility for it. Stop being defensive. I see it in our culture. Somebody cannot say anything, you want to tear. Don't let me say what you people tear. You want to tear pants, like, what's going on? Then you do think violence. Just in social media, you will post by yourself or on my wall. Somebody will come and be dragging the post. Okay, did I tag you? I never even thought you would agree, because it's my mind now. So I don't agree with you. Me and you are not using the same thought process. We're not in the same word. We don't have the same upbringing. How do you want to just agree? So it's okay to disagree. Like, be at peace disagreeing. Just put it there. Oh, I share a different opinion. The opinion doesn't even need to make sense. Quite truthfully, you should share another opinion. Me and you don't have the same cognitive experience. Just go and be dragging tweets. Have you eaten like this? Guy, who is doing you? Look, I want to frustrate them outside there to prolong their stress. And I'm just laughing. Maybe probably eating pepper snail. Sometimes when you're eating pepper snail, you're very high. Like, go by the frustrate life. Give them one walk to do. Defending the very guy. Calm down. It's not that deep. Like, that calming down video that young boy did. Is that you did not see it? What's going on? Yeah. So take responsibility. Number 6. I love this one so much. Act like a leader. Own the project like your company. I always see sometimes some things that we do when it looks like, oh, I'm just here. This place is a route to where I'm going. We know you will not die in this office. I personally don't even want you to die. I want you to get to the next level, anything you want to do. But while you're here, take responsibility for it. I always tell my team members, run and execute this project like you are the emotions doctor. I want excellence to be your signature. Let your work be your worship. So if you are writing a proposal, whatever it is, if God was your supervisor, what would you submit to him? Some people type letters with typographical errors. They can't even read it. With typographical errors, proposals with errors, everything. And then you're expecting your CEO to be doing typist for you. Have you eaten? Grammarly is there. It will probably solve about 65-70% of your issues. And then you sit down and read. You see that you cannot read a letter you typed. And then you say, I'm sorry, ma. I'm sorry, ma. Okay, now that you are sorry, we have taken the first apology. Please don't bring this kind of thing to my desk again. You will meet them. There was one person I had to lay off. It was her 13th time. And it was when she put me in an $8,000 problem. And it was with an embassy. I know at embassies. And what had happened was that I'd given her an assignment, and the name she was putting above is the name she was supposed to put beneath. So she had put another name above, another name beneath, and she did it on 5 documents. I don't know how that went. Interestingly, I didn't check the document. I was not available. So I just got a letter from the embassy saying that I had done something, and they were reviewing my application for something. $8,000. $4 million. And then she was saying she was sorry. I just fired her on the spot. So you know this is the 13th error. And if I had fired you before, this $8,000 would never have come to path. So I have to hire a lawyer to defend me that I wasn't trying to be fraudulent. Interestingly, they Googled me, so I think that it occurred to them that it's like I should have no sense. I'm sure in her mind now, she'll go and tell them at home, my guy just fired me anyhow. She will not say to them it was at 13th time. She will not say to them that I almost lost $8,000. They will edit that part. But they will say, emotions doctor, very wicked. So please, take responsibility. Own the project, act like a leader, let it look like you own it, run the project, execute it like you are the owner of the office. Next one, engage social facility. I know what I'm doing intentionally, so just in case you think I've done all of this, it's not working, trust me, it's not true. And when I say it's not true, here's what I mean. I have learned that if you have truly done everything, you will find a way. If you don't find a way, I will tell you what has gone wrong. But I am one person who subscribes to do everything. So I'll give you an example. I've met someone before who said, oh, I've looked for a job, I've gone everywhere, this and that. And he wanted to be an on-air personality. I've gone everywhere, this and that. I said, okay, talk to me. How many radio stations have you dropped your CV? He mentioned 3. I said, I thought you said you've gone everywhere. I said, in Lagos State alone, I hear that they have over 100. Like different branches, offices, whatever. You went to 3. And you're going everywhere. So you don't need any work, don't worry. So after that 3 now, you thought that it's your father's company when to drop CV, so they will call you. So let me tell you something. If you know what some of us have done before, when you're using us as a point of contact, it's our diligence you should even be looking for. So please, like I said, let's engage all of this. I've said 6 things. The 7th is engage social facility. What I mean by social facility is how you deliver a message is as important as the message you are delivering. I see a lot of anyhowness. We talk, we just need to sift our words better. Like, no matter any difficult thing you want to say, you can learn properly. That's why I never subscribe to Donald Trump's style of delivery. He's not a bad person, but his execution I do not like. His style of delivery, style of talking to people was so unnecessary. Very condescending, it just looks like a profile of a narcissist. So please engage social facilities, very key. Some people just talk anyhow and then they go back to apologize, they are regretting this and that. Yeah, please engage social facility. Number 8, also have the pleasure of helping your boss succeed. People like people who help them succeed. Give honor to your boss. There's a time when you will shine. Never take away your boss's shine. Never take away your boss's shine. You know, people are dragging things with their boss. You want them to notice you in the office. Your time will come. Leave your boss to enjoy the glory. Don't drag glory with anybody. You are in your 20s, in your early 30s. Do your job. Your boss is in his 50s. The glory is almost coming to you. Let them enjoy the glory. That's number 8. Number 9. So I've given you 8 points. The 9th one is, in all your engagements, remember that your personal brand is at risk. So beyond the fact that you're on a payroll, I need you to see yourself as a personal brand. The brand Onyekon. What's your emotional signature everywhere you go? So whether you plan to leave or not, you are a personal brand. Be very careful how you transact with your brand, because every engagement with your brand either solidifies it or it nullifies it. The final one is that also recognize your exit strategy. So that means that if you have tried this 9 and it doesn't work, then it's okay to exit. But in exiting, please try and save, invest, have some financial prowess and capacity before you leave. Somebody offended me, I just dropped a resignation letter. 2 days after, you are in me clear. That's when you see that everywhere you go there will be offense, and it's not because people intentionally set out to offend you. It's just our differences showing up, and it's just the truth. I will offend you, you will offend me. It's our differences showing up, and it will always show up. So if the first 9 you try, you invest, it looks like, oh, there's no way here, then please plan your exit strategy if you have to leave. But trust me, that person is not the demon. There's a demon himself that you may encounter in life, and we all have difficult people. We all do have difficult people, if that's a word. Yeah, we all have difficult people. So in my mind, we can't keep resigning. I've been somewhere where I volunteered. They never paid me for 17 years. I didn't disappear. I used it as a stepping stone. When it became toxic, I requested to leave, but they didn't even let me leave. And somebody said, oh, no, I can never do, God forbid, you take rubbish. I'm like, it's very subjective. If the person knows better, they will do better. It's not easy for you not to be correct. It's like you don't know. It's not easy for somebody to not be very angry. Try consistent anger. High blood pressure, hypertension. You just see you will just be ill. So now imagine somebody who is now vibrating. Like you are just generating anger. No, you'll be alright. If you like, shout. You are just doing voice range. Maybe one day you go for project film. You'll be okay. And what's your problem in life? You will soon discover it. So for me, I know my exit strategy. So when it was time to leave, I attempted to, but it didn't work. So this is me that I've worked with, and I work with different flavors of people. It's not easy. People are everywhere, but people have their issues. So if you do the first 9 is not ticking, then please have an exit strategy. But please do not let the exit strategy be the number 1. Because there's one move now that young people have, millennials and young adults, and their boss offends them in their mind like twice. Looking for another job. Whoa. You just see that in your CV, you have worked at like 50 places and you are still 32. It's every 4 months you are leaving. It just shows that something is wrong with you. And anybody who has discernment of spirit will avoid you. Just this one is 4 months, so 4 months tablet. If you continue like that, safe, you will, everywhere you go, you'll be leaving. Because imagine if it was your marriage. One small thing, I'm going. One day you will come back, they will lock the door. Go and stay there. So are there difficult people? I know they exist. But what I'm saying is, it is not easy to be difficult. People really have issues deeper than you. So sometimes we can just rent a space in their head, tidy up our first to 9. If it now looks like the person is insatiable, like they send this one to you, exit. But I don't want exit to be your number 1 option. So let's see. Do you have questions? Questions before I round off? People are just laughing. What's going on? 17 years no pay. They didn't want me to leave. Yes, so I'm not even sure. Yeah, I'm trying to see. So questions. If there are questions, please let me know. I'll respond to questions. I'll call it a day so that we can all go eat our dinner. Sorry. Yeah, so questions, I'll just take two and we'll have the final conversation. Questions. I'll just take two questions. So I hope this was helpful and useful to you. If you have a handful, somebody who is a handful, please have mercy on them. Please have mercy on them. It may just be the fact that, and there are some people who excellence and perfection is one of their things, so they keep, it looks like they are insatiable, they're difficult. Just like I said, execute the first 9. If you insist that it's not working, then you can exit. But please don't let exit always be number one for clients and for bosses, anybody. Don't let exit be number one, because the truth is you may not also be as easy to be with or work with as you think. If you are one of those Christians who read their Bibles at work, like something's wrong with you. And so many other people as I believe in God, really, except it's doing your break. But that's also people playing, faffing around on the internet. You never get work done. You know how all of us act sometimes. So if you're that kind of person, you shouldn't even be saying you have a difficult boss. You are the difficult employee. They should all lock your ear and with rubber band. So don't let us pretend that we also may be as easy as that. So okay, I'm glad that it was helpful. 2 things. Our mental health tribe starts tomorrow. Have you registered? If you have not registered, you are a difficult person. It starts tomorrow. And yeah, that's the first workshop. It starts tomorrow. It's just 20K for the entire year. If you have not registered and you are listening to me, you are very difficult. Very, very difficult. That person who wrote that long thing, I'm not responding to that question. Oh, love how. Oh, old soul. Old soul, when are you taking me out? Are you in this country? So I just see that you just be coming in. So in your mind now, you don't know that you're a difficult follower. Also, it's like you don't have an idea. You just be romancing me on Instagram. I say, ED, for your mental health, so if you eat plantain and snail. Old soul. Okay, so mental health tribe starts tomorrow. It's a conversation on mental health, and it's a family meeting every month. It's just $20,000 for the entire year. Trust me, you cannot get that kind of thing anywhere else, and I'm not selling it to you. So if you ever try and send me a DM, I will most likely not respond, because my time is money. And if you see my rate card, you will know that I serve spirits, not human beings. Yeah, so for Emotion City to have come up with that, very angelic, and then faculty members are fully in charge and totally in charge. So it's 20K entire year. Plug into it. You can still sign up. I was hearing that they've closed. They are closed. They have gotten you in here, but I think you can still sign up. Just pretend. Let them know that you are the difficult person, that you are very stubborn. So you just came. Just say it, because you are very stubborn. What's going on? There are people who stood down, who will do something, who will put their hand on it, who will be beating, and how wrong now? Go and sign up for Mental Health Tribe. The link is on my bio. You can send me a DM. I'll just respond to you. Yeah, and that's it. Finally, people ask me how to join my tribe. It's not free. Here's what I help people do in my tribe. People that are in my tribe are above the age of 35. Not that I'm selective, but that the people who I think just joined. So if you're less than 35, it's fine, but there are people who have joined. So that between 35 and 60, professionals all over, from oil and gas to engineering, very, very established professionals. So beyond the fact that I help them increase their personal and professional influence, we have a family meeting, get an expert to talk to us. Last time we spoke on money, foreign investment, where to put your money now, Bitcoin. We spoke on all of those things. This one coming up, we're going to be discussing social media and how to use social media to your advantage, from somebody who has made nothing less than 100 million from social media, which is Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Yeah, so we just want to learn in that direction also, and then I said 100 million. No. $1 million. Yeah, $1 million. Forgive me. $1 million from just using social media and all of that. So that's the next person coming to family meeting. And then people ask questions, professional questions, what they can do. Then above all, they get networks. Somebody was talking to me during the week. There was a deal she signed with another person, in the family meeting in the tribe, and it was a 2 million naira deal. And I was like, hey, how much did you pay for the year? 150,000. You pay 150,000. You came to use my head, like you use my destiny to collect 2 million. Olobrem. Shall I seeking moving trade? Are you using my ICK for forex? But I was very glad. So that's what I help my tribe members do. We have family meetings, we network, do business together. We'll plan to travel together. So once COVID goes, when COVID carries his load, we should go to Dubai to enjoy our lives and all of those things. And then most especially, they become a part of me. A tribe member was around today. We swam together. She's coming tomorrow. So yeah. So we do a lot of things together. It's just 150,000 to join. It's for the entire year, so it's not monthly, for the entire year. You pay once and you enjoy your life. So those two things, Mental Health Tribe and my tribe, interested, send me a DM. So it's my pleasure talking to you. I should think that it should have been more than our time, but it's my pleasure being with you, enjoying your life, enjoying. 20,000 naira. Oh, I said dollars. So Mental Health Tribe is 20,000 naira. You can see that my head is in dollars. Yeah, that's how I think. It's your naira. Very disrespectful. You can go to bed, wake up, the thing as a reason. Right now, I'm attracting currencies that have surname. And I don't have surname. That's why you are very arrogant. Pound sterling. There's some currencies that have surnames. American dollars. Naira. Glory. May you attract currencies that have surname. That's what you need now. You will just see that credit alert is therapeutic. Mental Health Tribe, 20,000 naira. You can send me a DM. It's also on my wall, on my link in bio. To join my tribe, 150,000 for the entire year. But trust me, for the end of the year, press down, shaking together, running over 150. The least person makes about 3 million. The people that are in my tribe, the people that you have been using as point of contact to meet in life, they're just there, very calm. One project alone can sort out your entire bill, your rent, your light, your travel, your lifestyle. Glory. Do have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful evening. Enjoy your life. Who put Nigerian naira here? I won't block you. Tunis. You are Tunis. Block yourself. Enjoy. Do have a beautiful night, beautiful, and a wealthy, wealthy weekend.